You guys are,
Yes, you are. You're getting it raw.
as soon as I learn how to cut off Toby Mac, we're gonna get started.
All right.
Deja, I'm gonna cut off Toby Mac. Yeah, I was thinking, like how we're gonna have somebody to do the slideshow. Okay, because I'd really rather be up there with him.
Yes. Where I gotta hit play. All right, everybody. Has everybody got their food? So I want to tell you guys that we are recording and we are live on Facebook. Everybody say, hey, Facebook.
Hey.
They can't see y'all, but I can see y'all. So I know Angela has already prayed. Is that door open? Yes. Oh, okay. See how all I had to do was say was the door open. See how, look at God. Got the door closed on my behalf. Thank God. Anyway, I wanted to have this opportunity to kind of introduce you guys to Angela. We have developed such an awesome relationship in such a short time. Her life has been such a blessing to me. She has an amazing testimony. And she offered to, I know when somebody offered to help you, you'd be like, all right, I'll take it. Well, at least I do anyway. Mm-hmm. So she offered to give me a hand with, I don't know, did you offer or did I recruit?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. Either way, she's going to be helping me out with the Radical Women's Ministry, which is an amazing blessing to me. But one of the things we talked about a lot last year was connection. And I know everybody wasn't here, but it's through that connection that God did between us that brought her here today to be able to present to us and talk to us about some of the amazing things that God has shared with her in her life. It's a good thing to dream big. Amen. When you dream big, you grow strong.
That's right.
Because whatever you have in your mind, you think you put it there, but actually God put it there. And he says, I'll give you the desires of your heart. The desires in your heart came from him. And throughout this series, our goal is to work towards bringing those desires to pass. Amen. The work is already finished. It's not in progress. So all we have to do is position ourselves to allow that work to continue here in the earth. Amen. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Angela Terry. And she's like me, so she's going to walk around and stuff. So Facebook, y'all might see her, you might not.
So Facebook, I'm going to stand here just to do the introduction, but I'm really going to come out there with you guys. I am a touchy-feely type person, so I just like to be amongst the masses. So my name is Angela Terry, as Pastor Jessica has said. For all you Facebooks, I know we didn't say this earlier, we are here at World Changers Church, and the third Sunday of each month is World Changers Radical Women's Ministry. So we are starting the class off with Dream, Vision, and Build. This is our happy hour. So, you need to be excited. When you were, think of happy hour, you think of fun and excitement. So that's what I want you to think of when you come to Dream, Vision, and Build. This particular class is for women. I don't want you to think Dream, Vision, and Build is for women only. Dream, Vision, and Build is for the masses, for our youth, for our men, and for our women. So I want to make sure we put that plug in. And we will be doing something with our men, hopefully soon, because I do want them to have that in mind. But at any rate, my name is Angela Terry. I am the mother of two wonderful children. Alexander is there. Say hello, Alexander. He's my king, and my queen is Deja Terry. She's there. Deja has her own, I always put this plug in because I'm so proud. Deja graduated from Ivy League University. She went to University of Pennsylvania, and she has her own travel blog. She travels the world. And skincare blog. So I always like to give her a plug because I'm just so proud of her. I am a real estate investor and an entrepreneur. I own Accommodations by Angela, which is furnished housing available for rental on day-to-day basis as well as monthly. And I am a motivational speaker and transformational and motivational speaker. Through Angela Memoirs. Everybody, can you pull your phone out if you don't mind? I do want you to go ahead and go to our social media page and hit like. Angela Memoirs currently has about 10,000 members in which we motivate through my life. It's called Angela Memoirs because I literally talk about how God has transformed me into the person that I was. And I never thought I could have the big dreams that I have. I actually grew up homeless, and that's another story that we'll get into. But God has blessed me tremendously and transformed me into the person that I am now. So if you guys can pull out your social media, I know you guys are eating, but I need you to do this. And go to Facebook and look up Angela's, Angela apostrophe S. Oh, I need to be changing this. I'm so sorry, guys. Apostrophe S, Memoirs, MEMOIRS, ANGELA, apostrophe S, Memoirs, MEMOIRS, and you should have a kissy smiley face. As you get to know me, I'm always going to be blowing you kisses. So that emoji was perfect for me. That's my signature. And just hit like. So what we usually do on Angela Memoirs is 3 times a week, we usually put out some type of motivation for you. Sundays is Situation Sunday, which always give you an in-depth knowledge of something that God is doing in me, has done for me, and I'm sharing it with you. Wellness Wednesday is giving you some type of motivation in that same realm to keep you going. And then Friday is just a feel-good Friday to give you something to pat yourself on the back and feel good about. The next thing that I do is this: Dream, Vision, and Build. Dream, Vision, and Build is really about giving you some practical application that will bring you into, I should go to the, not yet, no, I don't go there. So we have Dream, Build, and Vision, which is another thing that I do, brunch and happy hour. It really is to get you to stimulate your thinking of those dreams. And I know sometimes I talk to people and they're like, well, I don't have any dreams. Well, I'm dreaming to keep my house clean.
Amen. That's me. Amen.
That's me, you know.
But I hired somebody to do it.
And that's part of the dream, fulfilling the dream, right? You know, everything we don't have to do ourselves. Relationship is very important for us to fulfill the purpose and destiny that God has given us in our lives. And I can tell you for years, I have, because I grew up homeless, I'm a friendly person. If you meet me, you'll be like, oh, she's real cool, right? But I don't really do relationships very well. Right. And I'm learning through the word of God that the only way to get to the destiny and the purpose that he has for me is to build relationships. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. We can go to the next slide. So what is Dream, Vision, and Build? Dream, Vision, and Build was created, is a 1-year program that is set to provide you with an hour to enjoy, to think about, reflect on, and obtain knowledge and structure a plan to fulfill your dreams. That's really what it's about. It's really about, I remember about 5 years ago when I said, this is a dream for me as well. Let me make sure you guys understand that. About 5 years ago, I started building a relationship with God. I've been a church girl since I was 27 years old. When I got pregnant with my daughter, I found God. Which is another funny story because it was my enemies brought me to God. It's so amazing how God works. And I had a church relationship, but I did not have a relationship with God. Or I thought I did. I really did. I really thought I did. But obviously not. So about 5 years ago, I just sought out to figure out who really God is, and what is it that I am supposed to do for the kingdom of God. And I did not know. You know, I had a lot of dreams about my Range Rover, to wear some diamonds and things of that nature, but all of my dreams were about me. They were not about helping anybody. And as I got to know Pastor Dollar, I soon realized that God did not give me the talents for me. He gave me my talents so that I can help the masses. And I'm doing that in the name of God, not in Angela Terry's name, right? So, I want to make sure that the things that I have learned through this,
you got to give our Facebook audience a little bit. You can just kind of angle yourself a little bit, and they can see you too.
I'm sorry, Facebook. I'm so sorry. And you guys would not believe that I was so shy that the church that I attended, I give them big shout out to the Faith United Ministry, Pamela and James Durban. When I first came into church, as I told you guys, I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was so shy. Like, I could never stand up in front of anybody and say anything. And because I grew up homeless, I didn't know how to talk, right? I didn't know how to write, I didn't know how to spell. There's some issues, right? But every chance she gave me, she made me stand up in front of people. You know, she was taking me to all her church events and say, hey, stand up and say hello. Every time there was an opportunity at church for me to do something, I volunteered. I always believe in overcoming those fears. A lot of times we think that the issues that we came or we grew in were to hurt us. I honestly believe that they were a blessing. The devil sent them for evil, but God used them for my good. And it allowed me to learn how to overcome, right? So nobody can tell me I can't do anything. I just don't believe it, right? My daughter, she got accepted to 16 exceptional schools. She got accepted to 6 Ivies. Her mother didn't even finish high school, right? So I'm just letting you know to dream big. When my daughter went to apply for college, I never applied for college, so I didn't know what that was. And she came home one day because the school that she went to told her she wanted to go to UCLA. She always wanted to be an actress. USC, sorry. And she was like, Mom, they told me it was a reach school. Right? And we was like, oh, what's that? You know, what's that? And she was like, I don't know. I'm like, what are they saying? It's out of your reach? Right? And I was like, well, if that's what they're saying, that we're going to apply for 16 colleges. And we got accepted to 1 except for Harvard, where you was You know, that was the only thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is don't allow anything that you've been through to stop you from dreaming big. We don't do any small thinking in our house. So, and for me, cleaning up is not a small thinking. It is a big one for me. So I always tell people big is in the eye of the beholder, right? But at any rate, so this particular class is really geared toward having some fun, thinking about, reflecting on, and obtaining knowledge to structure a plan to manifest those cherished aspirations, ambitions, and ideals that God has placed in you. So if you forgot them, we're about to revitalize them, right? Dream, vision, and build objective. Next. Yes, next. Thank you. Is to provide food, fun activities to stimulate you to dream big, envision, and build a manifestation blueprint to construct your vision. And everything you're going to see me talk about is a plan. When I first started, half the things that I were going to do, I did not really have a plan in place. Everything, because, you know, what I've learned is it takes forever to build a plan, right? So we're action people. We just want to do something. But what I've learned is in that process, we always leave something out. And then we wonder why things aren't working because we didn't plan for it, right? For me, I tell Pastor Jessica this all the time. Like, you know, I'm dreaming real big. And what I'm learning is I have to know how to fit in that society that I'm going to. And what I know now is not going to work there. It's not. What you know now is only going to get you to what you have now, right? You're going to always have to be willing to learn and grow. And if you're not spending any time investing in learning and planning, I can guarantee you if you get it, you're not going to maintain it because you're not ready for it. You didn't build a plan around that. Right? So we're going to be doing some of that in this class. The next one.
I'm sorry, I'm being camera woman
and so why should you attend Dream, Vision, and Feel Happy Hour or brunch, you know, what we're going to have going on. It's just to obtain practical knowledge. One of the reasons why I no longer attend the church that I was attending is because I should see me pray. He told me how to pray. I can pray, and I can shout, and I can dance, and praise God. But when we got in the car, it's like, okay, what are we supposed to do this week? You know, how do we maintain this emotional feeling that we have? You know, I had a really nasty attitude. It was bad, y'all. It was real bad. You know, I was a real bougie type chick. Like, people did not like me. I was not a likable person. And I thought that was okay because where I grew up around, that was okay, right? And that's another reason why I tell you, you have to expose yourself to what you want to be, right? If you don't expose yourself to what you want to be, then you don't know what is expected, or you will close the doors on a lot of opportunities. So what I wanted to make sure of is as we're dreaming and envisioning
And I didn't have any role models. I didn't have any mentors. Where I grew up at, people didn't really dream big. To dream big was you drove a Benz, right? You know, you had a Benz, you had a Gucci purse, you had some Gucci shoes, and you had some diamonds. And if you had that, then you were living life. And oftentimes, like Pastor spoke today, I compared myself to be great because I was better than the people that I was around, right? And we want to make sure that as we grow, that we have some practical knowledge and participate in some activities that's going to teach us some things, right? That's going to teach us how to become the person that can have and obtain and maintain all those things that we're looking to have. I also want to make sure that we bring clarity and identify answers and solutions that will assist you in writing the blueprint. You're always going to hear me say that blueprint to build the vision that manifests those dreams. You know, when we think of dreams, and we'll get into that in a minute, we're not talking about I close my eyes at night and I have a dream, right? We're really thinking about those aspirations, those ambitions that you once upon yourself said, I want to be able to do that, right? I didn't want to be a mom, but now I want to be the best mom that I can be, right? And I knew that I had to learn how to be a mom. One thing I didn't tell you guys, and I don't really like telling people this, but I will, just to give myself a little calorie. I do run the federal government subcontracting program. I never thought that I could do that. As a matter of fact, when I applied for the job, I didn't even have my degree at the time. I was struggling trying to get my bachelor's degree, but I was talking to God at this time. Deja had to be about 7, and this is why I always thought I had a relationship with God, because I talked to God about everything, right? And he told me to apply for the job. I wanted to write computer software. That was my dream. I wanted to write computer software. As a matter of fact, I wanted to write accounting software because I grew up homeless. Remember I told you guys that. And my family always told me I wasn't going to be anything. And to me, being an accountant was something big, right? So I wanted to be an accountant. Well, when I started going to school, I realized this is difficult, right? And I wanted to write that software where you could just push a button and everything happens. I guess like QuickBooks or Quickens or something like that, right? And so I wanted to be a computer programmer. And when I got into class, I was very good at making the machine do, but I realized that I like people, right? And sitting behind that computer, I couldn't talk to people. I just sat there all the time. And I can remember, God is so awesome. I can remember applying for a job, getting the job in the government, but because I never prepared my attitude and disposition for the job, they fired me. But I was blessed before I got fired. And we'll get into that as we get on. But I want to get back to what I was saying was, I wanted to write accounting software. I would talk to God and say, well, you said you're God, and this is what I want to do. And a job came up, and he said, apply for it. And everybody told me I couldn't get that job. Everybody told me that they don't play Black African-American women at that salary and that rate, but God had gave me a specific number. And I knew it had to come from God because I wasn't thinking of that number. Long and behold, I applied for the job, and I got it. Period. When they called me and gave me the offer, they offered me one salary. I said, no, that's not what God told me. I want this salary, and I asked for some other demands. And the young lady from the other end said, we don't pay African-American women that salary. You're lucky you got the job. I said, well, I don't believe in luck. When she called back 5 minutes later, she said, I need to know the God that you serve because you got everything that you asked for. So I need you guys to understand that we can't do anything without God. But with God, then you'll just be amazed with some of the things that he will bring forth in your life, being unqualified. Amen. Being unqualified by the world standard, right? So that's one of the reasons why I started Dream Big and Vision, because of all of the stories I'm going to have to tell you that happened in my life, that I know if you dream big, you can accomplish it as long as you put God in that dream. But at any rate, so we want to be able to manifest the blueprint in an atmosphere conducive to building relationships. One of the things that I have learned is I have stuck my growth, kind of like Pastor was talking about today, because I have not put myself around people who are trying to build their visions, right? I am still stuck at hanging around individuals who I'm comfortable with, right? And who we had something in common, but that in which we had in common is is not taking us to where we want to be. So you're going to have to eventually learn that in your blueprint to live on purpose, you're going to have to station yourself around people, right, that are building on what you want to build on. And it might not be the same thing, but if you're trying to accomplish a dream and I'm trying to accomplish a dream, when I'm feeling down and out, you're there, right? So one of the things that we want to do is make sure we can build some relationships so that when we're down and out or when we just feel like this is too difficult, that we have somebody who can pull us along. So that's one of the key factors of having this classroom setting as well as the online setting, because we do build relationships with people online as well. So when you aren't able to come in class, I want to make sure that you guys get online. We'll be having it through Zoom, right? So you'll be able to get online as well. I think that's the next slide. So we talked about Angela Penwa's social media feed, but we do have social media feed for Dream Build. Again, it's just Dream Vision and Build on Facebook, and Twitter is Vision Hour that I will be providing insight, things of that nature with as well. If you have any correspondence, if you have any correspondence that you want to communicate with me on, you can reach us by email at dreamvisionandbuild@gmail. The next one, Pastor Jessica. So I stand on these principles. I know the heading said this principle because the one that I stand on is Philippians 4, that I can do all things through Christ. But when I woke up this morning, God gave me these two more, and it was just so amazing when Pastor spoke about Proverbs, because that was the last one, and I said, it don't fit on my slide. And it was just puzzling to me that then Pastor talked about it. And I said, are you serious? Like I was telling my daughter, like, we need to do exactly what God tells us to do, what God tells us to do when he tells us to do it. But Philippians 4:13-1 is what I stand on. Sometimes it's just hard for me to get on the treadmill today. And I have to really chant to myself, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I hope that you guys will take heed to these particular scriptures and make sure that you chant them as well, right? Because you're going to need something to stand on. And I always believe that the Word of God is what we should stand on when we are feeling our time of need. Psalms 24, may we give you the desires of your heart and make all your plans succeed. I always believe, I didn't understand that. The last 5 years, at first I thought that was anything I want out of you. But the last 5 years, as I built this relationship with God, I do believe that he has put these desires in my heart to help today's youth and to help his kingdom's people to dream bigger. And to be confident that if they put in the work and put in the commitment, that those things that they dream will become reality. Proverbs 16:3, give to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. It's another one that I live on. You know, I tell God this is what I want to do. And half the time things come to my mind that I'm like, how did I even think of that? Like, I don't think, I know that it come from me. I tell my people at my job, they're like, I said, girl, that God will, I don't care, right? Because I am now revamping the federal government subcontracting program, and the obstacles and oppositions that have come my way was unreal. But every time they came my way, I knew that it was God's plan. It wasn't mine. I told God that I wanted to make a change in the government. I told him that I wanted to change the program, but I knew the plans that were coming were from him. And so when those obstacles and oppositions came my way, I was confident. I told people all the time, right now GAO stays at my door because the person who had my job prior to me wrote GAO when they retired and told GAO that they needed to come in because that girl don't know what she's doing. When they told me, I thought it was a blessing, and everybody else didn't understand. Why are you all excited? You know, I think they really thought I was going to bash the gentleman. I said, well, I thank him because I know if GAO at the door, and not only GAO, I'm ready. God had been teaching me what I needed to do way before GAO, and I couldn't do it. So I just knew that if your weapons were formed against me, I didn't worry about you. I'm telling you guys, I had to change everything about me. And I say that to you because in order for you to accomplish your dreams, you're going to have to change everything about you too. I had to change my beliefs to, I don't get it. Pastor Dollar has a series on emotions that we're going to utilize during this class. And I had to learn that the only reason why I would get upset is because I think God was going to do it. Right? But after I got comfortable and confident in God, I was just like, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? That was my thing. Whenever something happens, what am I supposed to learn from this, and how are you going to use it for my good? Right? I don't act out of emotions, right? And that doesn't mean that I don't want to. I need you to understand that. Oftentimes, I want to cuss people out. I'm just being honest with you, but I don't. I'm like, we ain't doing that because that's going to. Not only is it going to stop with that person could bless me with one day, you always have to look about who's around, who's paying attention, who's watching your demeanor, who's watching how you act, who's watching how you behave. Not to mention the children, right? They mimic everything that we do. And if you ever met Alexander, then I don't even have to tell you that. Yeah, you know. So, you know, it's just very important that we understand to stand on some principles. And, you know, they do call me because one of the things I do at my job is whenever something happens, I'll be like, I told you God was going to do it. And they be like, there you go again. Right? But God told you guys. So I always tell God, I put it on him. So if it don't work out, it's on him. It's not on me. It's not on me. And it, you know, and you're going to see that's just how I operate. You know, that's not, I think Pastor Jessica that's just how I operate. And my children can tell you too. I just really believe in the power of the Almighty God, and I stand on his principles. And I tell you, if you can stand on his principles and get to know him in that manner, especially my young people that's here. And young lady, what's your name? Kayla. Kayla, what's your name? Kennedy. Kennedy. Hey. So, Kayla, Kennedy, my goal in life, my ultimate destiny is for you guys, right? To get you guys to see. I know in some parts we don't think God is cool, but you're going to be amazed how cool he is, right? And how he really can give you what you desire. For me, my thing is to get you guys to dream bigger than you've ever dreamed before. That's stuff that people tell you you can't do. It's what I want you to do. But I also want you to understand, as we do this class, I do hope you guys continue to come. Because what I want you to understand is I want you to find that thing you enjoy doing. That thing that put that smile on your face, right? That's the thing that I want you to kind of figure out. Because oftentimes we don't think that that is a blessing to us, but that's, to me, is our purpose. That thing that annoys you when it's not done right? That thing that just gives you pleasure to do because that's going to come easy to you. That's not going to be hard work. Oftentimes what we do is we get into the rat race of having to pay bills. We need a job. So, you know, we don't even dream. We just like, okay, now my dream is connected to whatever job I have, to be the supervisor or to be the manager of whatever that is, right? And I don't want us to limit ourselves to that. I want us to be able to dream outside of anything we can imagine. And as I said, I did not have mentors. God placed mentors in my life, and you too gave me them in an abundance. And it is a true thing. One more scripture I'm going to give you. If you seek, you will find. If you knock, the door will be open. That's not a joke, right? Every time I wanted something, I went to YouTube to start looking for people that had what I wanted and started learning the principles of those people and things that they stood on. I would pray to God and ask him for some guidance, and people just connected. This weekend, Friday, outside the table with Senator Holland, I didn't know who he was. I was invited to the event. The person who put on the event paid for me to show up. And they said to me, I'm sitting you at this table because these people need to know who you are. I'm like, huh? I didn't solicit that. I didn't solicit it, right? And I didn't even have a babysitter. I had to find a babysitter, but everything fell into place, right? So I just want you guys, if you can, just dig into this class. You're going to learn some things that's going to bless you. I'll just do the next one. All right, so today we're going to just talk about some pieces of the class, and then you have your journals, because journaling is going to be a big part of that, and we're going to decorate these journals. I think I have about 5 more slides, and then we're going to get into decorating the journal. So let's talk about dream. For me, when I think about dreaming, I think about indulging in deep thinking about something greatly desired. Indulging in deep thinking about something greatly desired. In the beginning, I just wanted to prove people wrong. I'm just being honest. Like, I just want to prove them wrong. It really hurt when they said I was lying. Sometimes I even want to cry talking about it. It really did hurt when people said I wasn't going to be anything. It really did hurt when they lied on me, and the people who allowed me to stay in my house would tell me the day I couldn't come anymore because somehow or another my family member contacted them and lied. When I say lied, and then those people weren't comfortable with me in their house. I was 13 years old, guys, looking for places to sleep and eat. That's mentally disturbing, right? And I just had this desire that I indulged in, deep thinking about how I was going to prove them wrong, right? I could have went the opposite. I could have went into it. I could have failed for it. Could have been like, freak is too hard, right? But it was just something in me like fire. Like I was going to prove them all wrong, and I'm still doing it to this day. Right? So we have to make sure that whenever obstacles and oppositions come our way, that we still be able to dream, right? So whoever told you you weren't able to do what you thought you were not able to do, the fact that you thought that you were able to do it means you can do it. You can do it, right? But you have to do what you have to do to make sure that that vision comes true. I had to be the one to enroll in school, and let me tell y'all, most embarrassing thing ever. UDC is my alma mater. I came back to DC and I went to apply for college. And you have to take these tests back then. I don't know if you still have to do it. You know, now you take the SAT, but at UDC you didn't have to take that, you had to take their admissions test. And when I took the admissions test, the lady says, the computer says you're on a 6th grade level. I was like, duh, I only went to 6th grade. I had no idea how ignorant I really was, but I was like, well, the computer's right. I only went to 6th grade. So she said, well, what are you doing here? I said, to learn, right? But to her, she was trying to insult me, really. She really was, right? But she didn't understand where I was coming from. This skin so thick, you know, like, really. She didn't understand, to me, like, lady, just the fact that I came in here, took this test, which was very hard, by the way, right? So for it to say that I'm on the 6th grade, that confirmed to me what level I was on, because I already knew I was on 6th grade. I only went to the 6th grade, right? So now it's telling me, okay, well, I'm able to learn. Right? Because that was my thing. Well, I'm here. And I was like, well, what? I can't get the class? She was like, yeah, but you have to take all these beginner classes. I was like, okay, sorry. Right? So you always have to be able to dream. I thought about the desire to prove them wrong forever. Man, I would go in those classes, guys, writing. I didn't know how to spell, let alone write. Right. And back then I didn't have Word. You know, I think we had the word processing thing that everybody didn't have yet. When I was writing programs, I was writing in DOS. So that tells you how long ago that's been, right? That's exactly. Right. So that tells you how long ago that's been. But that deep-rooted desire to prove people wrong drove me, right? So don't let the anger part of it drive you, right? When now you focus on them and want to piss them off and make them look stupid. You yourself. I allow that to fuel me. So every time I go after something, like that gentleman who wrote to GAO, he fueled me to stay up late at night. I'll be on vacation with Alice. He said, are you gonna stop working yet? We gotta go outside. You know, I'm like, David, I said, work on this dream. Work on this. Just give me an hour and then I'm gonna give you a day, right? So it kept me up at night. And he's right. He will say, can we bring somebody else? Because he knew that I was just so caught up in my work. And that's just to say, if you have this dream that you're thinking of, you're going to have to work hard. You know, I grew up thinking, especially the church that I had attended, I just thought that I'd make it and it's over. That I was going to get easy riding, that it was not going to be hard all the time, right? But now that I know that it's always a fight. Always. So always, it's the next level of the fight. Right? Once I conquer this, I gotta conquer something else, right? The obstacles I had here prepares me for the obstacles that I'm gonna have here. Now I don't act emotional. Remember I told you they fired me the last time, right? Told you that, right? I'll get to that. But it was that dream to press upon and prove people wrong. And if you ever see me around those people, you would never know there was a problem. My kids didn't even know. And one day I told them, they was like, "Well, Auntie Francis, are you serious?" Right? Because I don't mistreat people. I honestly believe that God blesses me based upon how I treat people, not on how people treat me. Right? I live by that. I honestly live by that. So Pastor, just we can go to the next one. So we need to make sure that we're focused on thinking about the dream. Right? So then we're going to talk about the vision phase, right? The ability to visualize, imagine as a future possibility, envision. Think through the plan, think through and plan the future with imagination and wisdom. When I thought about this, in the beginning, nobody told me this, right? So when I wanted to go to school, I just wanted to be an accountant. I didn't study to figure out what classes you were supposed to take. I learned. This is how I know God has been in my life forever. I had 66 credits. Going to school all the time, right? Got these credits. I didn't know that I was supposed to be going out to the degree program. I was going to school and taking classes, right? And my dream was to get a degree in accounting, right? I didn't have a plan. I didn't know I was supposed to have a plan, right? I knew I was supposed to go to a college and I was supposed to apply. I never really talked to the advisor, didn't know what even the advisor was. I didn't have a blueprint. Nobody taught me anything. Kind of like I was asking Pastor Jessica today. I said, "Are you going to tell the people where it is?" She said, "They already know." I said, "Not everybody," right? Because not everybody knows, right? Some people are just dropping in visiting. Well, nobody taught me anything because I guess, like that lady said, most people knew what they're supposed to do when they got to college, right? I didn't know. So long story short, I had all these credits. Went to a friend's house I went to someone's house with a friend, and the gentleman was talking to me and asked me what was I doing in my life, and I was telling him, and he said, "Well, what school you go to?" And I was telling him. He said, "Well, what's your major?" I said, "Accounting." He said, "What's your next class for the semester?" I said, "I don't know." And as he started talking to me, I guess he realized how ignorant I was, right? And he was like, "I need to educate you on some things." He was like, "I want you to go and find out how many credits you have." So the next day I called him and I said, "I have these credits." He said, "You have enough for an associate's degree." I said, "Well, what's that?" Right? What's that? Right? And he said, "An associate's degree is the degree that means you have the basis or the structure. Your higher degree means you have all those extracurricular activities, English, the different levels of English, economics and things of that nature." He said, "Apply for your associates." I was like, "How do you do that?" I'm trying to get you to see something, right? I had a dream, and I went to tackle that dream. I didn't have a plan, so I didn't know what I didn't know. And it hurt me more than anything. So I ended up getting this degree with so many different credits that I couldn't use. I wasted time, I wasted money, I wasted resources. But again, God had a plan. So when he told me that to go and get this associate, I'm like, I got a degree. Are you freaking serious, right? Because again, I didn't even know what an associate's was, right? But I was able to go out now and get work, right? So I got excited. I couldn't wait to go back and tell those people I met one of my dreams. It became reality. I proved to y'all that I was going to be something, right? But because I did not have the vision, because I did not visualize what that looked like, because I didn't put a plan together in place, because I didn't identify what I needed to know and what I did not know, I took the long way around, right? So it's not good enough just to have a dream, right? We have to see what that is, right? So we can't just say, and this may sound crazy, my new dream is, I want to teach businesses how to grow their business, right? That's my dream. But what does that mean? What does that look like? How do I know if I accomplish it? If I don't visualize it and put a plan in place, right? I went to this event on Friday, and it was an award ceremony where these businesses were talking about how they were giving jobs to people in their community, how they struggled, how their children would tell them not to mess it up. you know, how they had sleepless nights, days without their children, and they made it. They're now billion-dollar companies, right? And I'm around these people, I'm in the room, and I'm telling you, my baby is jumping inside, right? Like, I can do that. But they all talked about the plan. And God instantly said to me, I told you, you don't have a plan. You're going to miss the opportunities that you can have for your dream. So it's going to be very important that we write the vision, right? But in here, we're not only going to write it, we're going to see it. Very important for us. We go to the next passage. Visual time is 136. To build, right? So, again, we already know it's dreaming, and then we need to write the blueprint, but then we have to start working to build it. And sometimes you're doing all of those things at the same time, right? You can't just wait till you finish one to do the next. And let's say your dream is to graduate high school, right? And if that's your dream, with the right class structure, right? Because I think Deja changed hers twice. Your major. Yeah. So you have to have a vision, right? Okay, because sometimes we go to college because somebody told us we got to go to college, right? Deja wanted to go to, like I said, she got accepted to a lot of schools, and she wanted to go to NYU. NYU flew her in from Paris and visit their campus, and she wanted to go to Columbia, right? She got accepted to both, and they were going to pay for her. But her mom, she wanted to be an actress. Or her mom wanted her to be in IT or something, right? That's what her mom wanted. So her mom said, no, you can't go to those schools. You gotta go over here, right? She still went to good school, but I'm just saying, right? And it wasn't until I went to visit her, I'll let you say, I went to visit her one day, and she was sick. She was so mentally sick, she was physically sick, right? She was sick, y'all. And I just looked at her, and I was like, what's wrong with you? And she just must have a tear. Because she had her own dream. She had this thing that she really wanted to do, but out of respect for her mom, she was going to do whatever I wanted to do, right? And I had this fear that her dream wasn't going to let her make it. Can you believe me? Me did not think that God would allow her to make it, right? And it was in that moment that God said to me, if I had carried you, you don't think I can carry her too? Right? And I had to tell her I was so sorry, right? I had to break down my fear to her. And I said, who am I, the homeless chick at 13 years old, who made it to this level that had made you to even get accepted to these exceptional schools, would not back you up with your dream. Go do what you feel like. She changed her major, and she's so happy. She moved to New York City. Go ahead, you see what you say.
Yeah, so I now live in New York finally, working at Dice, a media company, within like my dream forever to work in media and entertainment. So, you know, it all works out. Yeah.
But it only worked out because I grew. Because I grew, right? And my growth fed into my children's growth, right? Had I stayed the way that I was, had I stayed with my own beliefs, right? That through this journey, you know, I was building my relationship with God. So we're talking about that 5-year period. And I kept myself drenched in things that taught me practical knowledge. And that's key for this class, because we're going to talk about practical knowledge. That kind of knowledge that you can use every day. That type of knowledge that you can do something with today. When I leave this class today, I want to be able to do something with what I learned, right? And it was that knowledge that made me realize, what are you doing, girl? Right? It was that knowledge. Pastor said something key today, and me and Deja kind of laughed about it. When, you know, doing all that fussing and arguing, trying to change people, you can't change people, right? And I told Deja, I laughed. I was like, I'll never forget it. I was walking out of my room, and God said, you don't trust me. And I'm talking to God. I talked about Holy Spirit. I'm like, I do trust you. He's like, no, you don't. If you trust me, you'll leave her alone. right? Because I want her to dot her I's, cross her T's, and I want to move this way, move that way, and do this. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to take my hand off of it, right? So sometimes we have to take our hands off of it to build, right? We got the dream, God gave it to us. As we're talking to him, he's going to visualize and put it on paper for us. We're never going to be ready. You're never going to be 100% ready. You're always going to be some insecurities. Trust me on that. You're feeling insecure, don't worry about that. It happens. I'm insecure with every move I make. I was insecure for this class today. I told Pastor Jessica, I ain't going to never be ready. Let's just start, right? Let's just do it, right? Because I knew God will prepare me as I told Daisha, I wrote this presentation 4 times. I woke up this morning, God said, change it again. And change it again. Right? So you're always going to be changing things. You're always going to be insecure about things, but you got to go. You're always going to be changing the blueprint because the more you learn what you saw then, you realize, oh, that's not really it. But it got you started, right? That the government program that I'm changing, God, y'all, I wrote it all out 2 years ago. But as God started to grow me, I started to become more knowledgeable. It became more visual. So no, that wasn't it. But I believe that God made me right then because he wanted to trust to see if he could trust me to do what he told me to do when he told me to do it. Right? I had to change it and I keep changing it. Because I keep learning. And that's what I want you to know. Just because you have to change something doesn't mean you wasn't on the right path. It just means that you're now learning something new. And the more you learn, the more you're going to do things differently. Right? Doesn't mean you were bad because you did it that way. Right? It just meant that was the way that I was thinking at that moment, space, and time. And now that I've learned some new stuff, I'm now on this level, and I'm going to keep it moving. Right? We're never going to feel bad. We're never going to make ourselves feel bad. Right? We made a mistake, or they call it a mistake. I tell it was part of the growing process. Part of the growing process. Right? So we're going to have to be able to establish, create, develop, and increase. And I wanted to tell you guys, to me, to establish means to set up an organization system. Right? To put a system in place. That's on a permanent basis, right? So for me, my system is to learn something new every day. Every day I'm listening to something on YouTube. I'm listening to something spiritual that's going to give me some kind of practical knowledge. My emotions had to change. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was part of the growing process. I thought all I needed to know was technical knowledge, right? If it's being an accountant, I just need to study stuff about being an accountant. I had no idea that I was going to have to change my emotions, change my behaviors, introduce myself to some new lives. I had to learn about sports because when I'm in these conferences and stuff like that, they don't want to talk about work, right? I had to learn how to do world news, and I had to learn that I keep my personal opinion about people to myself, right? But those are things that I didn't know. So by the time I learned it, I realized how I blackballed myself so many years, right? Because certain things you just didn't know, right? So we need to establish a system where we're always growing, we're always learning, and we're going to try to put some things together to make sure we have that. I then wanted to create, right? When I think of create, I think of to bring something into existence as a result of my actions, right? I did X, so we did this. I told Pastor Jessica I wanted to teach some people. She said, I got an opportunity, let's go, right? My actions create something, right? Your actions create something, whatever it is. Don't let it be so small. It can be, again, small is in the eye of the beholder. Big is in the eye of the beholder. You guys think I'm joking. I'm really trying to keep my house clean every day. It's just really hard, right? And I'm convinced, right? And that's part of my plan. That's part of my plan. I gotta put that in my plan because when I'm in there, I can't think. And I can't think with the clutter, right? And one time I was really comfortable with clutter, to be honest with you. But as I've grown, I'm not. So when I say big is relevant to you, right? But we have to be able to create. And then I wanted to talk about develop. To develop, we have to grow, we have to grow or cause to grow, become more mature, advance, or elaborate and start to exist, experience, and possess. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about develop. We want to elaborate. We want to grow something. We want to help others to grow, right? And remember I told you when I started, for me, eventually I just wanted a Range Rover. I ain't gonna lie, I love Range Rovers, right? I just wanted that Range Rover, and I just wanted to make some money, right? right? My daughter gave me a water bottle that she got from a conference she attended, and it says ladies get paid. But that's not no longer everything about me, right? I volunteer, so I can't volunteer, right? Because I want to create world changers. I really do. Every day I'm speaking to multi-billionaire companies. Yet when I talk to companies like this, or in places like this, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I'm like, you're missing it. There is so much opportunity out there that when I'm there, they're like, Angela, can you give me some more? There's a reason why she stopped me at that table. There's a reason why she's telling these people they need to know me. It's kind of like Pastor Anita Baker. Like, they know me. The lady said, oh, we researched you on our way here. Me? I didn't know you could research you, by the way. I'm just being honest. I didn't know good. So I was like, oh. Right? And I was on my way there, I'm asking God, how do I act at this table? Right? Because I ain't never been around a senator before. Right? I never been around partners in a law firm before. And I knew she told me who was going to be there, but I was just like, well, how do you talk about it? And God just said, just be normal and don't talk about work. Right? So when they asked me about work, then I talked about work. And then I changed it to that. I talked about my kids. We talked about the dogs. We talked about dog walking. I mean, just regular things. And I couldn't wait to come and tell my young people, be regular. Right? Don't be intimidated because this person's up here, right? Just learn how to have a normal conversation impressively. Right? I tell my daughter all the time when she was growing up, don't ever talk slang. I teach my son that, don't ever do it, right? Because there are some people in the community that you're going to go to who don't understand what you're saying or why you're acting that way. They going to think you're crazy, right? They're going to be looking at you like, see, I told you that's how the black people act. Oh, I forgot me on Facebook. This could go anywhere.
It's already gone. But it's okay because you're just being yourself. You're being normal. We like that.
But it's the truth, right? So we do have to learn how to act. I tell my son, you have to learn 3 different personalities. They all you. They are. When you're around older people, you act a certain way. When you're around professional people, you act a certain way. You're more conservative. As you are when you're around older people, you're more conservative and proper. Right? When you're around your friends, laugh and giggle as loud as you want to. Right? But when you're around your parents, you have to be more respectful. Where's that inside voice? You've never been around Alex, you don't talk loud. So I'm like, no, you can't act like that. And he gets real comfortable. So I have to train him that. And unfortunately, I didn't have anybody to tell me that. Bishop Jakes taught me that. Bishop Jakes taught me when you go in a room around important people, be quiet. I thought the opposite. The reason why they wanted to fire me because I wanted to tell them what they didn't know and how I could do it for them. And I was over talking somebody that was in the position that they liked. So they peeped me as trying to take something from somebody, so the wolves came out. Now that person, she still liked me, right? Because again, we came from the same environment, right? So she didn't see anything wrong with it, but they did. And instantly, she brought me into the room because she wanted them to see what I was capable of doing, right? But they kicked me out of the room because I didn't know how to behave in the room, right? So we have to learn, right? And I had to learn the hard way. And you will be amazed at the person who taught me. It was the person who brought me into the room. I'm going to bring her in to talk to you guys because Deja was 7 years old. Deja's 22 now, right? And you'd just be amazed. She paid me to get money. She blessed me tremendously. Again, I had to learn. Bishop Jakes said to me, you have to learn how to respect leadership. You have to learn how to respect leadership. One of the things he always says, the anointing you respect is the anointing you get, right? And because I was always seeking God, and I'm putting God, I can't do this without God. Because I was always seeking God, I was always seeking to hear from those people who taught me. Well, because Bishop Jakes is the one who taught me to believe in God enough to get that job, and I got the job. So I'm like, anything that man say, I'm listening to. That's how it was. I absorbed it like a sponge. And this particular day, he said to me, I got 2 more minutes, we're going to do this. He said to me to go and apologize. It's fact, he said, you got to get on your knees. That's why I was bougie shit. Me get on my knees, but okay, whatever you say, God, that's what I'm going to do. So you have to go and get on your knees and get it apologize. And that person that you tried to hurt, that person that you was trying to get their level, if you do what I tell you to do, I will raise you above their level before they can do it. And he said, I must learn how to serve. I didn't know what serve was. Nobody had taught me to. Remember I told you I came from an environment it's a dog-eat-dog world. I was blessed for the dream. The dream was to make them realize that I was going to be somebody, even when they said I wasn't. That was the only focus. That was the only dream. So I share this with you to say, as we build, we have to build our personalities. It's not just enough to build the technical aspect of it, but we have to build us as individuals, right? Especially now, since I go into the kingdom of God, I have to watch everything that I do because somebody can't wait to say, see them God people, right? And I try to tell people that God people are normal people. We're normal people. To me, people say you can't be perfect. I'm perfected in God. I am the person that He wanted me to be, and all of those things about me is what He's going to use in me delivering for the kingdom. Okay? So you can do it, but you have to be able to change. You have to change everything. I honestly believe that that's what we have to do. Right? So then we're going to talk about to increase. So we'll talk about to increase, to become or make greater in size, amount, intensity, or the degree to strengthen, or to make stronger. No, the strengthen is something else. To increase. So we have to increase the amount and size. So in order for us to dream, we then have to vision and make that vision so plain that we can see what the increase is as we build. Right? We have to be able to do that. To strengthen is to make before we become stronger and to sustain it. Right? So it's not enough, as I told you. I was always able to accomplish things, but I was never able to maintain them because I didn't have a plan in place. And your memoirs grew so big. Remember, I was a person who couldn't write. I was a person who couldn't spell. I was a person nobody wanted to listen to. My people would call me on the phone every day, give me their problems. I would tell them what they need to do, and they would never do what I told them to do. And then they would call me back a week later and say, I know I didn't do it, but now I got this one. Stop calling me. So God said to me, I need you to do this. So when I did Angela Memoirs, I really, to be honest with you guys, it wasn't a dream for me at the time. It was something that God had placed in my heart, in my spirit, in my mind. And I wanted to share with people how I had grew and how I had accomplished. And in doing that, Angela Memoirs came out. It hit 10,000 people like nothing. 10,000 people want to hear what I gotta say? I would post something and 2,000 people would like it. What? 2,000 people like something I gotta say? And the amount of comments, right? But I didn't buy a blueprint for it. I didn't build a blueprint for it. So I was called Pastor Jessica, like, I didn't write Angela Memoirs today. I didn't write the last time. I gotta get a plan together to make sure that if I'm gonna operate for the kingdom, I'm operating excellence. So it's not just enough for us to do something. We have to always be in excellence when we do it, right? And that blueprint and that plan will keep us structured. It's something that we can always go back to, right? So I'm not even going to go through the rest of these slides. So I'm going to do this. That's because it leads me into the journals. So these journals, a couple of things that we will do while we here is write down some things, capture it, right? Because as we write these things down, it will be utilized as our blueprint to help us, right? Remember I said we not only have to do technical knowledge, but we have to do some things in our personality. Right? And sometimes we don't even know what we need to do in our personality because we've just been doing it for so long. It's not until somebody brings it to our attention that it could be a hindrance or we need to do some development in that area that we realize, oh, well, I never knew that. And oftentimes we reject that. Oftentimes you reject it because what that person is saying is what you've been doing isn't a good. That's how you hear it. But what the person is saying is in order for you to go to the next level where you want to go to, you're going to have to come up to the next level. So one of the things that I want us to start journaling, we're gonna make our journals personal because I think as they're personal, we would enjoy looking at them. My daughter brought me this sequence purple. You see, I smile when I talk about it. She brought me this sequence purple journal because purple's my favorite color. It's sequence, you know, I like shiny stuff, right? And my son loves it because he gets to play with it, right? But I was never a real journal. She learned how to journal in school, and then she brought it home, and she was like, well, Mom, you have to learn how to journal. I still have my first journal she bought me. It was purple too, right? But this other one I like more, right? So journaling is going to be very important as we reflect, right? It gives us some time alone. As I told you guys, My new thing now is getting on the treadmill, and I hate the treadmill, and I know I have the power of life and death in my tongue, so I'm gonna have to find another way to say that, right? But you have to spend 5 minutes for yourself. She's doing. I know I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'll do it. I'm getting better at wanting to learn how to do it, right? But we want to make sure, and I'm not forcing you to journal every day. I'm going to give you some questions that I want you to answer in your journal. That's going to prepare us for this next class that we have. But I do want you to make 5 minutes of your time to spend with yourself. Leave it in the bathroom, right? When you use the bathroom, start writing in your journal. Because what we're finding is we get so busy with life that we just don't have time to do it. As I said, I had to learn that planning takes more time than execution. But if I can write a detailed plan, execution is easy for me. I start to live on purpose because I know what TV shows to watch. I know what TV shows not to watch. I know what moves my spirit in this direction. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be over there no more. I want to come over here. So I know to put my spirit in this direction. And you have to know those things by learning yourself, right? Bishop Jakes has this thing where he says, I never get to see myself until I look in the mirror, right? But you see me every day, right? People see us. So I have learned that I'm definitely delivered from the opinion of people. I'm so delivered, right? But there are some people that I allow to speak into my life because I believe that they are saying something not to hurt me, but to bring to my attention, right? They bring some things to my attention. And I always tell my daughter, if they bring it to you, analyze it, right? Analyze it, see if there's some truth in it. If there is, try to make some adjustments, right? And if it's not, spit out the rest, right? But if everybody is telling you the same thing, then you need to pay attention to it, right? So as we write in our journals, there are some questions, and we might want to go to those questions. Let me find out the slide that I can get questions. Some things we're going to talk about that I want us to talk about in our journal. Oh, you know what? Let me hit this. I'm sorry. Let's talk about manifestation tools, right? Because hopefully this will excite you. So we're going to create some manifestation tools. Sorry, Facebook. So sorry. Hey. All right, we're going to talk about some manifestation tools. And when I think about manifestation tools, my daughter tell you for years I wanted to do a dream board. I follow this lady named Terry Savelle Foy, and if you know her, hey, I'm going to her. That's my girl. Yeah. Girl, I'm going next week. Yeah. I take Alex with me. Oh, I got to show you pictures of Alex and them. Yes. So,
Look, y'all, a connection.
Yes. So Terry Savelle Foy is my cheerleader of dreams. You get excited. Yes. Let me give you guys this. When I started writing Angela memoirs, I thought it was supposed to be a venting session. I ain't gonna lie, that's what I thought, right? And I wrote 3 pages, and I'm always listening to YouTube. As I said, I never had mentors. I had to find them. Bishop Jakes is one of my mentors, right? And as I was listening to Bishop Jakes, and God was talking to me about sharing Angela's memoirs, and I was like, okay, this Mickey Mouse voice lady kept popping up. Well, I didn't press the button, right? I know I didn't press this button. I would click her off. Like, this lady keep coming up. Listen to Bishop Jakes, right? Listen to Bishop Jakes. It pops up again. Like, wait a minute. Why? And I never looked at her. I just heard the voice. So I just click it off again. Like, why does this lady keep popping up? You see, the 3rd time she popped up, I said, I got it, God. I got it. I'm going to look at this lady. She does 35-minute podcasts. And instantly, as I was hearing her, God said that was her unique way of sharing how it changed her life. Angela's memoir will be yours. I said, I got it. I then got the desire to write. But I made a venting session, wrote 3 pages, asked me today where they are. I can't tell you. Because I guess God was like, that ain't what I asked you to do. Right? Again, as Pastor said, he said Africa. He said write. And I thought, okay, this is what I'm supposed to write. I didn't wait for those other words, right? I didn't wait for that other knowledge. The other knowledge came, and when you read it, you're going to be like, I'm so glad you listened, girl, right? Morning time, when people listen to one thing, read one thing, they read about 10 at the same time. And that's amazing to me. So at any rate, Terry is the cheerleader of dreams, and she talks about vision boards, dream boards. And for years, I have wanted to design one. I have a dream Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to bring in and show to you guys. And most of the things on that list I've accomplished. And only because it was in front of me. I would make time every morning to look at it and pray over it. Look at it and pray over it. I can be honest with you, because one thing I'm going to share, and that's part of my commitment, is I only will share with you whatever I've experienced, right? When the day that I stopped making time to look at those dreams, it stopped coming alive. Mostly because I forgot about them. I forgot that's what I wanted, right? And so for us, I want to do some manifestation tools because I know the value looking at them daily and praying over them daily can bring it alive. It's not magic, right? When you're looking at them daily, you're reminded and you start to live on purpose because you now know that's what you want to do, right? When the things are out of sight, they're out of mind, right? Until you remember them. And you only remember because you realize you didn't do something that needed to be done. So we're going to bring some manifestation tools. And we're going to make it a routine to spend time reflecting on our dreams, visualizing ourselves, accomplishing those visions daily. And our manifestation tools, we're going to do dream boards, we're going to do vision boards, we're going to do action boards, motivational boards, and journals, right? So that's why we want to create these journals into something personal that we like. This month's manifestation tool is DVB's audio and written journals. So all of us have a cell phone, right? On your cell phone, you have a recorder. Right? Take time out to record your thoughts, especially my young people, right? You're going to know, you'll be walking around thinking about something, you think of some idea, pull out your recorder and record it. Save it and date it, right? Very important. Our written journals are good, but we don't have them with us all the time, right? And what I've realized is when I do not record that thought, I forget it. And I knew it was part of the plan. Because when I got that thought, I got real excited, like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. And if I didn't write it down, I forgot it. Then I started writing it on little scrap pieces of paper. Well, guess what? I lost them, right? So your phone, the way we keep it, make sure whenever you guys have a thought, record it. Find out where your recorder is, record it. You then can plug in your phone and download, or you don't even have to plug in your phone. There is an action on your phone that allows you to save it to the drive. Right? You want to do that because if you're anything like me, you get a new phone every 4 months because I'm dropping it in water. Right? So you want to make sure you save it to your drive. If you forget that, when you plug it in, you get this prompt. If you plug it into your computer, to download it. Download it. Make sure you do that because you don't want to lose that information. Right? Because now if somebody's talking to you about something, you're like, wait a minute, I got this idea. Right? You'll be amazed on when to use those ideas. So we're going to be doing audio journaling, and then we're going to I'm not going to talk about the benefits. We'll do that another time. Then we're going to be doing written journal. I will talk about the benefits of journaling in and of itself. Emotional intelligence, because it identifies our season. When Deja started me journaling, you know who's good at this too? Facebook memories, right? I look at some of the stuff I wrote last year and be like, this is a season of my life. I need to be careful because this seemed like this is the purging season for me because I wrote that last year. And then it said in 2015, at the same time, I wrote the same thing, right? I need to be careful that I'm not purging emotionally, right? That I am strategically identifying, yeah, they got on my nerves, but not mean that get rid of them yet, right? So these journals, when we use them, we can reflect back next year. We can reflect back 6 months to try to identify where we were, right? And then make strategic decisions about what we're going to do. Right? So it gives us emotional intelligence. It evokes mindfulness. It makes us aware. When I start to write about my day and how I felt and how I reacted, I then get mindful of some of the things that I do. Like I have a real smart mouth at times. I get frustrated. I do. And in the workplace, I have learned that is just not good. Right? I had to learn to shut up. Like whatever that knee-jerk reaction is, don't go with it, right? And then I have to calm down inside. This is inner, because I never try to show it outside, inner, and then realize I'm doing it again. Let me humble myself, right? Let me have some empathy on this person and show them what they really need to do, right? So for me, this journaling has taught me that, there are some behaviors that I need to work on. Right? So it then leads me on purpose. So when I'm going to look at some mentors, I'm purposely looking for something about my emotions and my behavior. Healing and it relieves stress because it allows you to get out of your head privately. You know, some things we want to just tell somebody, I can just write it or I record it. Make sure if you record it, don't say no names and you delete it. Very important, right? You don't want anybody to get it and then be offended because they heard this on you and you wasting your time trying to convince them, oh, I was just venting at that point in time. I'm always talking to my young people, but this is for everybody, right? Captures your ideas in one place, right? When you journal, everything that you're thinking about is in one place. So now when you've matured enough and you want to go back and reflect on it, you can go back and reflect on it. And then reflection tools aids in the problem solving. When you have these problems that you need to fix, you can look back and see how you handled something in the past, and then you'll know how to, you know, utilize it for the future. And then we want to personalize it because once we personalize it, it'll be something that makes us feel good when we look at it, when that's going to turn us into this. So let's just start to pick up some stuff because I know everybody's ready to go too. Pick up some stuff and start just coloring your journals or making some kind of thing on it that you like. You know, we have stencils and colors. We have pins, yes, baby. We have stickers. We have pins, gel pens.
All right, we're going to end our Facebook Live right now while we go ahead and create our journals. We hope you have enjoyed our kickoff meeting for Radical Women, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next time.